Look at this, Jason. Another great beer from Craft Beer Club.
Is that what you're drinking over there?
Yeah, another one.
Man, I've seen you drink so many beers in the time that I've known you. I've never seen you look this happy drinking one, though.
How can I not be happy? I got a 3-month subscription, $10 off, free shipping. It comes right to my door. 2 different breweries, 2 beers from each.
But these got to be beers that you could get anywhere. So why are you looking so happy?
Well, because they're from all over the country. There's a lot of them I can't get from all over the country.
Really?
Yeah.
This is from what now? Craftbeerclub.com?
Craftbeerclub.com.
Huh.
And you probably, if you think about it, how heavy 12 bottles of beer is to ship. Like, I tried to ship a pair of my underwear to somebody. It was like $10.
What were the circumstances that you were shipping your underwear?
I'd prefer not to talk about that.
That's fair. From my experience, gold and lead, very heavy.
Glass is heavy.
That's how I liken these beers. So heavy, but yet they ship it to you for free. I can't, I'm not a mathematician.
Right.
I'm not an economist. I'm not a New Yorker magazine, I can't tell you the math behind how these guys are making money, but something's working.
Something's working. They're giving you great beers every month. 12 beers comes to your doorstep. That's part of the one I had. And inside, they give you a color pamphlet on both the breweries, and it says stuff about all 4 beers you're having. Then on the back of you turn around, they give you a little recipe of something to cook to drink with it.
I feel like I can't think of anything else that I would want for them to include. Like, they've thought of everything.
How about a subscription to Beer Connoisseur magazine?
What? Are you kidding me?
And a free gift. What? It happens, man. And all you got to do is follow the link on our show notes, our craftbeerclub.com link. It'll take you right to it. $10 off, a 3-month subscription, free shipping.
Just got to put in the promo code, right?
You don't even have to if you follow the link.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's even better. That's one less thing you have to do. We're taking all the work out of it for you. Craftbeerclub.com, they're taking all the work out of it for you. Boy, you'd be silly not to place your order today.
You'd be a dummy.
Don't be a dummy.
I ain't no dummy.
Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Yes, welcome all of my friends to Couch Pilots, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, but won't you please call me the Black Baritone? And with me, as always, is my falsetto friend. His name is Captain Philip Ressisher. Evening.
Hey, baby!
Hey, baby!
Hey, baby! Nice.
And welcome to all of our frequent flyers today to another rousing round of failed television pilots.
That's what we're good at.
That's the only thing I know how to do anymore. Like they say, skills are perishable, and like if you don't keep
So
them
is
up,
liquid.
Liquids can be perishable as well. But I don't keep up any of the other skills that I've created throughout my life. This is the only thing that I keep up on. So this is the only thing I'm good at.
Because we're consistent. Every Monday, go to your pod feed or Pod Addict, whatever your Apple podcast, and you just click refresh and just...
Quite literally, you can set your clock to our releases, right?
5 a.m. Central Standard Time.
That's right. That's the best. Central's the best, right? Even Stevens right down the middle.
And the thing that I don't understand is when you see commercials on TV for times of shows or whatever, they never talk about Central. No. It's Eastern or Pacific.
Eastern or Pacific time. And they don't, who doesn't get a lot of play either is Mountain time, but who cares? Who's living on a mountain? Huh?
Well,
what am I, Odysseus over here? Am I Zeus, king of the gods?
Well, the people that are living on the mountains don't even get cable anyway.
Yeah, they don't. They're a bunch of
hillbillies. On a mountaintop. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw indeed, my friend.
Man, we should do another musical.
Another musical?
We did one show that was a musical.
Oh, a pilot show. Well,
yeah.
That was called Hot Garbage Show? No, it was from 1990, and it was set in California at a strip mall.
Right.
I don't remember what it was called, though. It wasn't It wasn't good.
No,
I can say
it wasn't
that much.
good. That's why we don't remember it.
That's right.
So we're in the midst of December, right?
Yeah.
Right smack dab in the middle of December, which means gotta have that house decorated. Gotta have those presents bought.
I hear those sleigh bells ringing.
Jing jing jingling.
Jew. Is that they say?
I think so. I think that's what
it's
is.
a bizarre. It's an anti-Semitic song for Christmas.
Most Christmas songs are anti-Semitic if you think about it.
Just because they hide nor hair of the Jewish population is mentioned there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so last week I was like, hey, DSJ, why don't you open up the closet, go find the Christmas decorations and get them out. And I said, kind of spruce up the pilot's lounge. And
This is the one time a year that he's allowed into the pilot's lounge.
right, because he's got 45 minutes. And it's to decorate for the holidays. Because we like to bring female listeners and guests in and
Sure.
passengers, I guess I should have said. But we bring them in, and it's where we go with our bros and hang out.
It's our bro town for sure. And, he's Tarmac John. He's out on the runway with those golden cones, waving us in, waving us out. But he's got his own little janitor's closet. He's not a pilot.
Right.
He doesn't belong in the pilot's lounge unless he's decorating for Xmas.
Xmas. And I said, you know what? If you want to, go ahead and put some lights on the plane, some colorful
Right.
lights for Christmas. Just, while we're going through the sky, it's a little red and green. And
He says beautiful trails up there.
Oh,
yeah, it looks like you're tripping out.
oh, yeah. And, because we have those LED ones that he can put on. Instead of the strands, we just stick the LED strip
That's the way
on
to
the
go.
side of the plane. Figured everything was cool.
Was everything not cool?
Did you go to the pilot's lounge today before you came aboard?
No, I was running late as usual. I threw my coat on the ground. I didn't see John. I just yelled, "Grab my coat," assuming he would hear me, and I came right here to talk with you.
Well, he decorated. It's very festive
So far, it sounds good. I'm excited.
for Easter. He put a bunch of Easter decorations up. A lot of bunnies, a lot of eggs, a lot of yellow, a lot of green, a lot of pastels.
Do we even own Easter stuff?
I
Did
I
you
don't.
bring that from home?
He might have because I went. I was like, what the.
Yeah. I know. Thank you for holding back.
No problem. And I went and DSJ, and he came out, and he was like, "What's going on? What's the problem?" I was like, "Those are Easter decorations, not Christmas decorations." And for about 5 minutes, we had this big argument, and I said, "DSJ, go to your calendar right now. Look at your calendar."
This is what I was going to ask if it was because he's got
Yes.
that calendar from '97. It's that Corvette calendar with all the ladies in bikinis on it.
Right.
Is this the source of the problem?
Yeah, he has it during Easter time, whenever that is. April?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still April.
Because at one time it was not April, and I got April fooled by him, which is really, honestly, probably the smartest way to go about it. Because
Right.
on April 1st, you're expecting
It was you were fooled.
I was totally fooled. Anyhow,
So, I said, DSJ, these are not Christmas decorations. They're not even Kwanzaa decorations.
right.
And I said, what are you doing?
What was his answer to that? I mean, I assume he thought he was doing the right thing.
He just looked at me with that blank stare, with that shit-eating grin on his face.
yeah.
So, obviously, I didn't have time. I had to take my shower in the pilot's lounge because I always shower before I get on the plane. I fly clean.
I've noticed you fly clean. You're squeaky clean.
Oh, yeah. Because it gets the wheel, the grease. Wait.
The squeaky clean gets the grease.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. I love a greasy cheeseburger.
You'd love to get greased up.
Love some sausage links with some grease.
Boy, that does sound good.
So I don't know how you want to handle it. I know he did have a write up recently. We printed it out,
Yeah, we
filled it out.
and then laminated.
No, we put it in a manila folder. No, we laminated it. You're right, and then we put it in the manila folder.
Right.
And then we filed it.
And then we file it away.
So I don't know. Do we do another write up? I don't know.
No, I don't think we
You have a
should.
soft spot for DSG. I don't.
And for people who don't or know what we're talking about, DSJ is Down Syndrome John. Again, like I mentioned, he's the tarmac worker out on the runway. He waves those golden cones around. And, we've had a kind of an up and down, a roller coaster tycoon relationship with him, right?
Yeah, before that baby was born, model employee. Ever
Right.
since that baby's been born, there's been all kinds of issues, lack of focus, tardiness.
Retardiness.
Yep, exactly.
So I think I don't want to write him up. I think he was trying his best. He wanted to do the best he could, but obviously we have eggs where mistletoe should be, and that's fine. I'll kiss you under some eggs. I'll kiss your eggs.
Nice. All right, that's fine. I mean, It doesn't put me in the holiday spirit, though.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have him come in and we'll give him like another 45 minutes.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe I'll go in there on my free time and kind of instruct him.
How much free time do you have? I
Not
don't
much.
have any.
There's always time to sit in that leather recliner.
Oh,
So I'll sit back there.
Because it vibrates. It's like a little massage one.
I'll like direct traffic from there, I suppose. Maybe we can get this switched around. I'm fine with it, but if you really want to get in the holiday spirit, and I know you like that, there's two things I know about you. It's one, you fly clean.
Oh, definitely. Every day.
And two, you like that Christmas spirit.
Oh, anybody that knows me knows that when Christmas time comes, I am cramping the shit out of that. I'm Krampusing it up.
You cramp it up to 10 or 11.
11.
Yeah.
Just like Motorhead.
And you break the knob, Lenny style. Lenny.
The Ace of Spades. God, as rich as he was, he didn't have those moles removed. Do you think those are what caused his cancer that killed him? Those were huge
I think
moles.
at the time of his death, he was 89% cancer.
Could be.
Like he was more cancer than he was Lemmy.
Me and the stewardess, Molly, we were having a discussion prior to us coming to the airport.
Quote unquote discussion? Like,
Oh, believe me, it was a discussion.
okay.
All our clothes were on.
all right.
But we were discussing blind musicians. You got your Ray Charleses.
Yeah.
Okay?
You got your Alison Krauss.
Oh, no, she's not. Is she? She's not blind, is she?
I don't know.
Oh. But I was thinking, what's that Roadhouse guy?
Jeff Healey?
Jeff Healey. And so I was.
You know the reason I know that? It's because you brought it up on IBWIP once, and I think you made Heather look it up, and like she said that's the only reason I know that. I mean, he's a dead guy, right?
He's the only white blind musician that I knew of, and yeah, he is dead. I didn't know it. He died from a lung cancer. He lost his eyesight as a child. He was adopted. He had like some kind of retinal cancer, and they took his eyes out, and they put prosthetics in. And then he goes and dies at like 40 years old from fucking lung cancer.
What a shit life. Hey, so prosthetic eyes, is it just fake eyeballs you put in there, right?
Right, but he couldn't see out of them. Because there was nothing like attached to the back of them.
We're in a good time right now, like to make use of these prosthetics. In the future, you'll be able to see,
Sure.
If blind people will be able to see, they'll fix that. But I feel like there's a really wasted opportunity when you put a prosthetic eye in there and all it is cosmetic. Don't you think you should do something with that space? Like maybe you keep change in there?
Oh yeah, definitely. Or make it cool and like have like the glasses from the guy from Star Trek.
Geordie LaForge?
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna be blind, might as well go big.
Yeah, go big or go home.
Don't just use the regular black, sunglasses.
Or what about those the eyeballs with the springs that come up and down, the glasses?
Oh, that would be funny.
That'd be pretty good too.
Or like you could put like Mr. Potato Head ones in there. It would save you a lot of money. Just
those are they practically give those away, right?
yeah, you could get a Mr. Potato Head for like $9, and then you got a pair of pants, you got a couple pairs of shoes, you got a
So
mustache.
you're saying wear the whole outfit?
I'm just saying you have options. You got a hat.
So the Mr. Potato Head shirt you don't wear as a shirt, but you put in your eye socket. Is that what you're saying?
Right, like like the mustache and the little top hat.
Yeah.
Telling you.
No, that's smart. Man, I don't know where you come up with this stuff. It's fantastic.
You know what? It's a blessing and it's a curse.
Oh boy. You know what I think is one of the things that I consider the biggest blessing in my life, and not a curse whatsoever, is fan feedback.
Fan feedback is delicious, and we're gonna start. I'm gonna read you some first.
I'd love to be read to.
Right off the bat.
Won't you please read to me?
I will read you some fan feedback.
Where does this come from? Is this Facebook?
This one's from Twitter.
I love Twitter.
At Couch Pilots Pod. Love me some hashtag juicy balls. Kembo Slice. Love it, buddy. Hashtag juicy balls. That didn't catch on like I thought it would.
Boom, ba boom, ba boom. Frequent flyer points.
Lori Garcia sent us a screenshot of the conspiracy theory that Australia is Scooby-Doo. All right, and there's a map of Australia, and sketched over it is the head of Scooby-Doo.
It's like if you're looking straight on, like bird's eye view of Australia, it's Scooby-Doo looking to the left.
And
His right.
She put I said she sent it to me, the picture of it, and this is on Instagram. And I said, yes, this may have solved world hunger and polio by finding this.
Maybe, perhaps. I don't know the answer.
And she put, this is very true. On our first ever...
Well, hold on. Can I ask you this? What can you do a Scooby-Doo impression?
Right, Shaggy.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Like, Zoink Scoob!
All right, Shaggy. A ghost.
Now, there's more from Lori there, or this is a different...
No, she said this is very true. This one is from our Facebook when we posted our first ever promo audio video. We're doing that now, and this was for season 11, episode 2, Generation X.
Oh, with my daughter, my lovely baby girl.
Yeah, it was a little sample audio.
Little sniplet.
With our picture behind it. It's Thomas Kingston, our man of mystery, says, "Awesome, I remember this movie. I can't wait." So he saw Generation X.
Perfect.
Are you a kitty cat?
Am I a kitty cat?
Yeah.
Because I said perfect?
You went perfect.
Did I?
Oh, I'm going to scratch you behind the ears.
Oh, I love that. Do you think he likes being called the man of mystery? Obviously, it kind of defines what we know about him. Which
right.
Is
that's how we came up with this. We didn't know very much about him.
But do you think he likes that nickname, that moniker of the man of mystery?
I think if he didn't, he would have told us.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
If I know him as well as I do, which is not at all, I would think that he would tell us.
Yeah. We always enjoy hearing from him, though. Launching the pilot.
Yes.
We discovered another podcast that talks about pilot TV shows.
I had heard of these people, though, before.
Oh, you had?
So I knew it wasn't just failed television pilots, but they were talking about just pilot episodes of shows in general.
Right,
because,
popular ones.
You know what? I like their show. They seem like nice people, but I have to say they didn't have the intestinal fortitude to put themselves out there to think, hey, can our show be sustained simply by failed television pilots? Well, obviously this one can.
We went the extra mile.
Yeah.
We said, how do we make this as difficult as possible for ourselves?
How much do we hate ourselves and those around us that we want to punish everyone we come in contact with by devoting our time to this?
But on Twitter, they did retweet us when we launched the B-Men, starring Pauly Shore.
Starring Pauly Shore. He's in it for about a hot 90 seconds.
Hot times.
I like launching the pilot though. It's a cool show. Fun idea.
Yeah, check it out.
And God bless him.
Our friend Dee Dee, she sent a happy Thanksgiving to my dear friend. I'm thankful for having you guys in my life. And it was the picture of the Golden Girls when they did their Thanksgiving play where they dressed up as turkeys.
No one's ever seen that.
I have. I put, I'm thankful for your friendship as well. If all else fails, we will always have you as a listener and a friend.
Yeah, if I ever lose my house, I'm going to stow away on an airplane to Australia and hopefully maybe bunk with her for a little bit.
Oh, I think she would let us come over, don't you think?
I would like to. I would like to think so.
I don't want to get bitten by a tree bear. What's it called? What is it called?
Yeah, something like koala, terrifying
evil
animal.
Koala bear. Would you put Vegemite behind your ears?
Is that how you keep them away?
Yeah.
Is that like the Australian garlic for vampires?
I think so. This is from Generation X on Facebook. Lori Garcia says, I love this episode. Lorelai, which is a kick-ass name, by the way, is insightful and has keen perception. Definitely running laps around Blake Clayton.
Jeez.
And surprised how difficult it was for him to not swear. And believe me, I'm the queen of cussing. I think I did pretty good until the end.
I think you did a great job. I'm so happy for you. And I think Lorelai did a great job as well.
Definitely. A side notes, Kesha is a pop star, not a rapper. Mario Kart on N64 is way better than WWE.
What? No.
Baby Park all the way.
Baby Park? I don't remember that reference.
Jason and Lorelai's costumes were so badass, and I would be so proud of them. She should seriously start going to conventions and do cosplay. The Olympic bomber suspect was Richard Jewell.
Yep.
Richard Jewell.
Yep. I thought about that later.
Norm Macdonald would make jokes about him all the time. And Girl Meets World was canceled.
Okay, so just really coming in hard with the confirmation of facts.
Right, so I gave her 1,000 frequent flyer points. I said she did a great job.
Usually when you have a president, right, and he's got a first lady. And the first lady's like, hey, I'm going to take a stance against obesity or illiteracy or drugs. Lori Garcia is more and more just coming our fact checker, right?
Right. We got a voicemail. You want to hit that up?
Sure. Before we do that, I do want to say thank you to everyone so far who's provided fan feedback, and know that you're going to be getting frequent flyer points.
Always and forever. What's the dial-in number we got here?
It's 910 Pilots 1, or for the layman, it's 910-745-6871. The phone is never shut off.
No, it's
always on.
Call anytime. It's free. Here we go.
Hey, Couch Pilots, this is Adam from the Low Blow Podcast. I figured I'd just give you a call. I haven't dropped you a line in a while. I'm not dedicating this call to either one of you, but I'm dedicating this one to Lorelei. Congratulations on your first show. You're super funny. Well done. Awesome job.
Wow, I don't know why Adam Z decided to include that at the end of his call there.
No, it just cut off, and then it went to a Split Lip Rayfield song. Well, love me some Split Lip Rayfield. Sorry about that, everybody. It's a good album. You should check it out.
I probably won't. No offense, but I will board the plane.
Board the plane in just a moment. Don't do it yet.
Okay, good. Oh yeah, we got to do this thing.
We have to turn the plane on.
Yeah, we got to plug and play, as it's called.
That's not the right hole.
How many times have I heard that? 3. I've heard it like 3 times.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Another week, another failed pilot, another lurid tale of Blake's sexual exploits. Couch Pilots.
Couch Pilots.
You heard it here first.
You know, we should call it Couch Pilots and Blake's Dick.
I think so. I think our show could be completely clean after that, but just for the title, we'd get the explicit, wouldn't we?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you have any tales from the dick this week?
No, I'm going to kind of lay low on those.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right.
They're kind of getting me in trouble.
With who?
The law.
Yeah, Johnny Law call you up recently?
Lawyers.
Oh, Johnny Lawyers?
Yeah.
All right, well, fair enough. I'll let that rest. That's you know what? I'm going to speak for the fans.
Let it rest assured.
All the listeners are going to be devastated. Hopefully you come back with a sexual vengeance at some point.
I'll tell you what. If the listeners want to hear more sexual stories about me, on Twitter, put hashtag Blake's Dick Stories.
Or call us at the number, right?
Oh, definitely. No, call. You know what? Yeah.
Go tit for tat. Give us one of your dirty tales. I did say tit. And then give us one of your dirty tales, and we'll match
tit for taint.
That's pretty funny, too. Boy, you love that word taint, don't you? Today we discussed the pilot episode of Baby on Board from the year of our Lord, 1988.
Woo!
Great year.
1988?
Yep, 1988. Remember that year?
It was a decent year.
It was back in time, I'll tell you that much. It was about 30 years ago almost. Isn't that crazy to think?
Yeah, man, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
We were in the 80s.
The 1980s. Holy smokes.
Not the 1880s.
Not the A-Team either. Is that that?
I don't know.
The A-Team 80s?
I pity the fool who don't know a calendar.
I pity the fool that doesn't know that I was 7 years old when 1988 happened.
I was lusciously 13.
Luscious? What does that mean? Lusciously 13?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was going to have some sort of alliteration there, but it wasn't.
No, just off the tongue.
Okay. Well, good. 13 is a great year. I think 7. Any year where you don't have to fill out a W-2 is a great year.
Oh, exactly. You don't have any no bills. As long as you don't have a bill. Do you remember when what was the first bill, a consistent monthly bill that you got? I can tell you mine right now.
I think the first one I got was my car insurance.
Okay.
Because I got a real piece of junk truck when I first got a driver's license. But I had the deal was you pay for your own gas, you pay for your own insurance. So I had a job. And I remember getting my first check, and I was like, it's like $250. That's just crazy. I've never had this much money. And then the check comes in, it's like, you don't have any money at all. This money's going to the insurance. So that was the first bill. I mean, it was very disheartening, too.
Mine was the Columbia House.
Oh, yeah, for CDs and what have you?
Mm-hmm. Movies and CDs. I didn't understand the concept of that pyramid scheme, and I got myself into a lot of debt with those.
It's like Craft Beer Club. A Craft Beer Club's not a scam.
No, it's not a scam.
You think, how could they be making money?
Yeah.
I'm getting 10 CDs for a penny a piece? But then it's like the CDs are more expensive than they would be in the store, and there's big fat shipping and handling. It all makes up
Right,
for it,
and you got to buy 6 more in the next year, and you're like, oh, I can do that, and like they're like $35 a piece.
Yeah. It's not a great deal. It appears to be a great deal. That I may change my answer. That could be one of the first ones I ever did too. Because I think you in Columbia House.
Yeah,
I think I was BMG. I think I was a BMG boy.
And what I noticed is like they preyed on teenagers. Like they you didn't have to get a parent's signature. You just sent it in, and they're like, oh, this is your name. You're now going to be in debt for the rest of your life, and this is going to be on your credit.
I'm still paying it off.
Oh, yeah.
The interest.
I think I filed for bankruptcy on it the first time I filed for bankruptcy.
At what, like 16 years old?
Yeah.
It was a rough run.
But at 13, I didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I think that's a good benchmark, though, to say any year that you did not have to fill out a W-2 was a pretty good year.
Yep, you didn't have to pay HICFA.
What is that?
HICFA.
Now, that is some sort of plant that soothes your throat?
FICA. I'm sorry, it was FICA.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I was thinking of jicama.
Sorry.
That's also, God bless you. I think that's also a way that Bill Cosby used to scat, right? Jicama. No, we can edit that out. Now we know how old we were in 1988. We know the show we're watching. This is like, I was talking to you earlier about I'm going to be joining a gym again soon because I've been doing a lot of walking and I lost some weight. And I would like to keep that up, and I'm going to start lifting some weights.
But it's
too.
cold. You can't walk outside. It's cold.
It's too cold to do it. So I'm joining a gym. But when I go to the gym, the first thing I do before I start walking is I got to stretch, I got to loosen up a little bit. And right now, you and I are preparing ourselves. We're loosening up. We're stretching, if you will, to get ready to receive this pilot.
Exactly.
Is that fair to say?
That's very fair to say. It's a very good analogy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So right now, what we do is we say, physically, we can't go back to 1988. It's impossible. It's an impossibility. We can't do it. I don't know Doc Brown,
Who's Doc Brown?
From Back to the Future.
Never saw it.
But you are aware of it.
I'm aware of it. I didn't know his name was Doc Brown. I just thought it was Doc.
It's Doc Brown. I'm no Marty McFly, all right? I don't have a time machine outside.
You never kissed your mom.
I never had a flux capacitor. Right?
I've had a couple flux capacitors.
Nice. I like the way that
Sometimes
sounds.
you take one for the team.
But what we do instead, since we physically can't go back there, we go back to the 1988 in our minds. We talk about things that happened, popular events of that age, so we can properly digest this pilot the way
it should be. You can't judge this pilot unless you take your mind back and you say, I'm in 1988. What would I expect? What would I have seen?
Right.
Not like now when you see all the CGI,
Ugh.
Courtney Cox, Band-Aids, right?
roller skates. I hear you,
Oh,
buddy.
jeez.
I hear you.
It's like, come on. You cannot. You gotta do it the right way.
I totally I agree with everything you just said. The people who created this pilot, Baby on Board, they didn't say, you know what, it's 1987. We're going to create this pilot. It'll be ready for 1988. But we're not going to do it. We're not going to show 1988. We're going to wait till 2017 and show. That's not their plan.
No.
If so, we would be able to judge it properly, because if they were doing it for that time, that's not what's happening here. They wanted it for 1988. We have to be ready to receive it as if our minds were in 1988.
Thank you.
So let's talk about some things that happened. Using carbon dating, it is established that the Turin Shroud cannot be the burial cloth of Christ.
I have no idea what you just said. The Untamed Shrew, what?
Yeah, the Untamed Shrew. They said there's a cloth. It's called the Turin Shroud.
Okay.
And they put it over Jesus Christ after he died. They crucified him, and they put this cloth over him.
All right.
And there's at one point in history where they say, "Hey, look at this cloth. This is the Shroud of Turin."
They found the Shroud of Turin.
They thought they did until they carbon dated it.
Carbon date gets you every time. All you serial killers out there, if you think you can get away with everything,
Nope.
Carbon date's going to bust you out. I've been watching a lot about serial killers, cults, and if I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. Carbon dating busts them out every time.
Yep. And I've just watched the second season of Baskets.
Was it good?
It's all right. I liked it.
What'd you watch that on?
Hulu.
Is it on Hulu now? The second season is?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to watch it.
Did you watch the first season?
Oh, yeah.
The second season is pretty good. It's a great ending, I would say.
Oh, don't ruin it for me.
Everyone dies.
Spoiler alert.
Everyone dies. But the carbon dating said, you know what? This is a cloth. But it wasn't on Christ. It's not too old enough.
Wasn't
right?
bloody enough.
It wasn't bloody enough to be on Christ. I don't know. That was kind of a big deal. I think a lot of religious people at that time were hanging their hat on the fact that,
they're like,
here's some proof.
Yeah, this is going to seal the deal.
I wonder what the proof is.
But science proved that religion was wrong?
I don't know. Like, just because there's a cloth, say it was the cloth that was on Jesus, does that prove that Jesus was magic?
No, it just meant he was cold at one point or another.
His dead face was cold?
Right.
But he's a dead guy.
He came out in front of the Jews in dead face.
And dead face instead of black face? Oh boy, he really liked that. But like, if it was the cloth that was on him, like, what is that? Does that prove anything about his mysticism?
No.
Maybe, I don't know. The antidepressant Prozac was introduced, which quickly became the market leader for treating depression.
Tried me some Prozac at one time. Dealt with depression a few hundred times in my life. It made my dick not work. I'll tell you that right now.
What is it, just as far as like it was limp, or you couldn't pee, or like you peed out the side of it? Like what effects did it have on it?
I just couldn't get her up.
Get her done, you mean?
Well, I couldn't get it up to get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done.
Is that the line? We can't talk about sex stuff with you, is that right? Get her done. You said you won't talk about sex stuff.
Oh, I can talk about getting her done.
Prozac, did it make you feel better though?
No, my symptoms were a lot more severe. I needed a lot more than Prozac.
If Prozac made someone feel better, wouldn't they start feeling bad though immediately because their penis wouldn't work?
That is a true fact of some side effects of psychotropic medications.
What about ladies? Does it dry
ladies?
Hey,
ladies! What?
Does it have a sexual side effect on ladies though?
I don't know.
Does it make them grow a penis?
No, I've banged a few crazy chicks that took medication before and
they didn't have penises.
They didn't have penis.
Interesting. I've never taken an antidepressant. I don't think I'm going to either.
You're just gonna fight through it, huh?
I'm gonna go for a walk.
Okay. All the natural.
Let me ask you this: How
just
much,
like your boobs,
just like my breasts, all natural. Do you in the time that you were depressed? Did you ever like go and exercise?
No.
Do you think that would have helped?
It could have.
You think so?
But most of those points, I was too far engulfed in it to go. Oh, I can go for a walk.
I don't know. I've been for plenty of walks.
I'm too depressed to go for a walk today. There's too many words.
Suicide's calling my name. The USA invents laser eye surgery. That's it.
Jeff Healey, where you at?
Yeah, that's good too. Instead of prosthetic eyes, maybe you have laser beams for eyes.
Oh, that would be awesome. He's playing the blues. He's like,
he could put on a laser light show with his brain.
Oh, that would be
playing music.
Oh man, you wouldn't need a pyro guy.
You wouldn't even need a pyro guy, man. Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Maybe stick a couple Roman candles in there.
Oh yeah. That would be awesome.
Can you imagine a guy with 2 Roman candles purposefully sticking out of his head, firing them into the audience?
Yeah, it happened at that white snake. Not white snake.
White lion?
Great white.
Great white.
Great white.
Yeah, is that what happened? Someone got.
They caught fire. Remember, they caught that bar on fire because they had pyros and they had pyrotechnics in a bar.
But it was because someone had Roman candles in their eye sockets.
Time's getting hard for you, little girl. I'm a humming and a strumming all over God's world. I took you in the bus and fucked you last night. And so did the drummer. Something like that.
Great song.
They had another song about, but I can't remember it right offhand, that I like better. It was from that same album because they only had the one out. It's about uppers and downers and stuff.
And Prozacs.
Yeah.
And laser eye surgery. 1988. Swish. Slam dunk.
I'm right there. I am in 1988 in my mind.
Why did we choose to watch Baby on Board?
3 simple criteria, my friend.
Uno, dos, tres.
First, it had to be a failed pilot. Only one was made. Whether it was broadcast or not is irrelevant, but there were no more.
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2, we had to find it on the interwebs. Number 3, it had to be free.
Yeah.
Free, baby! Do you? I think 1988 is about when those baby on board signs came out that everybody had in their...
It had to have been there or just before that, because I'm sure that the show is playing on that phrase.
Sure.
Right? So, yeah.
The phrase that pays.
What does the baby on board sign do?
It's supposed to be like, hey, back off my bumper, bitch. I got a baby up here.
Do you think someone would drive more aggressively without the baby on board?
You even said that last week.
What?
That you drove, if you see one of those baby on boards, you ram them on purpose.
Did I say that last week?
Yes. You had some occulto.
Huh, okay. I definitely don't remember that. I believe that I said it.
You can go listen to the tape, man.
Go back. I'll head back to the tapes and check it out. Where can you find Baby on Board to watch for yourself? Well, you can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or download the app for Daily Motion and check out all of the commotion. Booyakasha. What is that? What is that?
Attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Shitty audio file.
To the skies, my friend. Off of the ground and into the air. Goodbye, DSJ. You'll have 40 lashes waiting for you once we land. Ah, boy. Summary of the pilot. A successful career couple in their 40s adjusts to the pressures of a new baby. Summary. That was the summary of the pilot.
You know what? I will grant that immunity.
Why is that?
Because it was a pretty good summary. I'm not going to chastise it. I mean, it was a blanket statement.
Yeah.
But too much more, and you're getting too far into it.
Okay. It's not a bad summary, but in the pilot, a quick spoiler alert, it's a lot about, hey, we got a baby, and I'm trying to go on vacation. There's almost nothing about their careers at all in this. So it says a successful career couple. You know?
You have a point there. I will give you 1 point.
Will you grant me immunity and 1 point?
Immunity and 1 point for you, sir.
Thank you. Interesting facts. Boom. Dropped a bomb. It was in my hand. I let go. Sir Isaac Newton says that'll pull it to the earth, and now it's going to make an explosion. Interesting facts. The part of the show where I tell you things you wouldn't know if you didn't scour as much as I did. And I tell you right now, you're not scouring as much as this guy, right?
You scour so much that you have calluses on your butt.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how that happens. I feel like it's unrelated.
Because you bend down and your heels scrape your butt while you're scouring.
That makes sense. There's what you see, and then there's what you don't see. You can follow the link in our show notes, and you can see exactly what we saw concerning the pilot, but the things you don't see are the facts behind the scenes, and I'm going to give them to you right now. And the key is here not to comment on these facts.
Don't comment on people that comment on these facts. First of all, they don't care about other people.
Scum of the earth.
Scum of the earth.
Right here, you got Nazis, you know? You got people who litter, and you got people who call these facts interesting or comment on them in some way.
Man.
Because it's when you comment on them, it's a very selfish thing. What you're doing is you're saying, this is how I feel. First of all, who cares what you think? And second of all, now that I know what you think, it's tainted how I am going to take in these facts, right?
You said tainted.
Yeah, I did, and I meant it.
Tainted love.
I would never say taint and not mean it. So everyone at home, please listen up, enjoy these facts, but don't show that you're enjoying them. I would say put a bag over your head, turn off the lights.
Turn off the lights. You'll glow to the extreme. I'll rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage. Wax chump like a candle. Dance.
What's going on your phone?
Trying to line up a guest for the next episode.
Who is it?
I'm not going to tell you who the next episode's guest is.
Release date. I honestly, you've kind of put me in a mood now.
What kind of mood? Like a good mood?
No. Do I look like I'm horny?
Do I make you Randy, baby?
Okay, you know what? All cards on the table. I'm super horny.
Okay, all right.
July 12th, 1988. That's when this was released.
That's middle of the summer. Nobody's going to watch you.
They're cranking up the heat, and I can smell the garbage. Directed by David Steinberg, he directed such TV shows as Seinfeld. Not all of them. You know, they direct some. Seinfeld, Mad About You, Norm Macdonald's stand-up specials, and Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Wow.
So those are facts. That's a fact.
Right. That's a fact.
Stars Lawrence Pressman, who played the role of George, the father.
What was he in?
Well, that's funny you should ask that. He's been working nonstop since the early 80s. You may recognize him from such projects as Doogie Howser, MD, where I think he was the head doctor there.
I think so.
Heart of Dixie and Transparent.
Never watched Transparent.
Transparent, which I'm curious what they're going to do with that show.
I thought they were just blowing it up.
Like canceling it?
I think so.
They could, or they could keep going. They could keep going somehow. I'm
Sure.
You know who I like? There's two ladies on that show I really like.
I've never seen it.
Amy Landecker. She played Louie's mom on the show Louie with Louis C.K. Like when Louie does flashbacks.
Okay.
Amy Landecker and then Gabby Hoffman. Anyway, they're beautiful Jewish ladies. I love them. Also stars Teri Hatcher as Laurie Stevens. You know Teri from television shows such as Lois and Clark and Desperate Housewives.
Yes.
Yeah?
What am I can't say.
I'm obviously tempting you.
I know.
With my eyes.
But you know what?
I'm trying to...
Just like Jesus, you can't tempt me. I'll put this cloth over my head.
Is that how he evaded Satan's temptations?
Yeah, I just put a cloth over his head, played peekaboo. Peekaboo, Satan, I see you.
Peekaboo Satan. Sounds like a kid's book, right?
Hashtag peekaboo, Satan.
This pilot was shot in New York City.
New York City?
Get a rope. Part of the CBS Summer Playhouse.
Love that well. The CBS Summer Playhouse well.
It's dark and it's cool, and I dip my ladle in and I take big long draws off of it. CBS Summer Playhouse.
At first, it sounded like a water bong you were taking a hit out of. You're like,
and I get super high when I watch the pilots. No one responded on Twitter. I can only assume that they're all dead is why they wouldn't respond. Let's now listen to a promo for one of my favorite shows. And that's Drunken Lullabies.
Hi, can I ask you a question? Do you like craft beer? How about indie music, pro wrestling, non-stop pop culture references, and a reason to drink on Sundays? If so, then I encourage you to check out my podcast, Drunken Lullabies, on the FCF Network. Brought to you by Distill Brewery in Bloomington, Illinois. New episodes come out every Sunday that feature me having fantastic craft beers with my friends at Drunken Lullabies Studios. And sometimes I take the show on the road and travel across the country to visit craft breweries and even chat with musicians. And since craft beer may not be for everyone, you can also check out the new spin-off, Drunk at the Movies. New episodes come out every Wednesday, and I sit down on the couch with friends for an alcohol-fueled live commentary while watching a variety of our favorite films. So subscribe today on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and all your social media outlets. You can also find us at drunkenlullabiespodcast.com. This is the voice saying, may your music be loud and your beers be cold.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with that.
It's weird audio, my friend.
I'm going to have to sit down, go through, and find out what these problems are.
In about 7-8 months from now?
No, this is actually bugging the fuck out of me.
That's bugging out.
The other one was funny, but this one, these audio files are bugging the fuck out of me. So, listeners, I promise by Christmas I will get these things resolved.
Or at the very least, we'll find something funny about them to make us not fix it.
Sure.
Pilot time. This is where we say, let's break down the pilot. We watched the whole thing. Now you have to listen to us talk about it. Right?
Yeah.
Baby on Board. It starts with a commercial for Baby on Board and Dr. Paradise.
Okay, so there was two different shows. Mm-hmm. Okay, so because at first I was kind of confused, but yeah, there's wild cuts. There's like a lot of fast cuts for this introduction, and there's a husband and a wife, and they're at the end of the intro. Mm-hmm. There's a husband and wife, and they're in a candlelight dinner, drinking a glass of wine, and they look over and they have their baby in their in their playpen, and then they go through what I call the like the name cards of all the people's names, but they use it as the mobile.
Yes,
from
I could not think of that name.
Baby Mobile.
Word. Yes, yeah. It's just like you have
the baby's pulling him off or something. It looks like he's grabbing.
It's
at him.
wildly dangerous for a baby to be pulling on a mobile like that. But yeah, so you got all the credits are on the mobiles, and the baby is almost like grabbing it and positioning it to the camera. And I was looking at those hands, like those definitely look like baby hands, but it's a well-trained baby. The song too reminded me of like a Randy Newman style song. You know,
I agree. I concur.
I love L.A.
Yeah, I love LA too.
You got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me.
And it was an outside shot of a brownstone, so it looked like New York City.
It kind of looked like the Cosby's brownstone.
I have Cosby-esque brownstone. High five that shit.
God,
nice.
We're like bread brothers.
We're like
bread brothers.
A woman with a baby in a kitchen. It's a real little baby too. It's a very tiny baby
with a big head. But her name is Sally, and she's the mom.
Yeah, I actually did really well in this one. I wrote down all the names this time.
Very good.
Kind of an overly cautious father, a middle-aged guy, and he's like, "I'm going to go play some basketball." Right?
Yeah, he had like a Penn State sweatshirt on.
Yeah,
so he probably touches kids.
You think he's related to Sandusky? You think he's in his inner circle?
Yeah. Definitely. But his name is George. So Sally and George are husband and wife. Mm-hmm. To me, what age do you think they are?
I bet they are 45-ish. Yeah.
Way too old to have a baby.
Yeah, you shouldn't be having as a woman at 45, you're really tempting.
You should not be having your first baby for sure, not your first baby.
Yeah, I agree.
But the baby is sitting in a high chair?
It's one of those chairs that clamps onto a table, so like the baby in essence is just kind of floating there.
Yeah,
which is terrifying.
Oh, definitely. And George comes in and he's terrified about it, and he slides a chair underneath it, so that way when it falls,
and it will fall,
and it'll go right into the chair.
And he's like, "There you are, Cupcake. You're my little anchovy."
She's
like,
don't call. Don't call the baby food names. Yeah. It'll scare them because you're going to call it a cupcake, and then you're going to end up eating a cupcake, and it's going to freak them out.
Yeah. So I am a cupcake just like that, and my dad's going to eat me. I don't think that baby's going to draw that kind of conclusion. Do you?
I don't think babies are that smart.
No, babies are arguably the dumbest animals on the planet. Baby's name is Abigail, and the wife apparently is a travel agent.
Yes.
They're saying, you know what? We just had this baby. We're 45 years old. We obviously have our careers set, so we probably have, money-wise, we're probably okay, but we need to go on a vacation. And why now? Why would you choose that go on a vacation now? You both have these careers. You live in a nice brownstone in New York City. You waited forever to have a baby. The baby's so young and brand new, and now you're going to go on a vacation?
Now you have the urge. And your wife is a travel agent. You should be vacationing more than most people in the first place.
You're absolutely right.
Thank you.
I totally agree with that. And then let's see, the next scene, Sally's mother is there, and she does not seem to like George. The father. She doesn't like George's father.
Well, I think that she had some issues with George too, but more. Yeah,
she's kind of a bitch, really.
She was a bitch. Her name was Marianne.
Okay. Oh, I did get that too. But yeah, she seems to have problems not only with George, but even more specifically, George's dad, which his name I don't think I did get.
I just got Papa or Pops, but
that works for me.
But Marianne did say, "Are you sure that this is George's baby? Doesn't look anything like him?" And besides, I was like, "I'm sure, Mom, I didn't have a virgin birth." And she's like, "I wish you would have."
Yeah. And she's like, your father was an optometrist, and so he's a dead guy. They say he kept using past tense, and it's like, well, Mommy, guess what? We're going to go on vacation, and she's like, well, I would watch the baby, but I can't sleep in any place that's not my own bed.
Right, which is her way of saying, I don't want to watch your baby. Then George's father comes in. We're going to call him Pappy or Paps or
Peepaw.
Peepaw. We'll call him Peepaw.
Peepaw, okay.
Peepal.
PayPal.
Hey, PayPal.
And so PayPal comes in with a bunch of laundry. And
she starts, Marianne starts really ripping on him. She don't like him just as much as she doesn't like him.
And he keeps saying, it looks like you put on some weight. And it starts a series of fat jokes, which are kind of funny. And he's like, you're getting so much funnier since you've gained all that weight.
Right.
So they definitely do not get along. And then Sally says something about frequent flyer miles here, which I made note of.
I did, yeah. I noticed that too. I was like, hey, don't steal our bit.
Yeah, 30-year-old show.
We went back in time.
In our minds. I'm sorry. Usually I look for like the pointing to the head for me to know to say that.
Oh, okay.
I messed that up. Yeah, so her mom's name is Marianne.
And so George he has come back from basketball, and he wants to have a talk with his wife in private, and the in-laws just kind of look at him like, okay. So
He says,
Peepaw says, I'll take Abigail to the park, and Marianne's like, over my dead body, and then he says probably something about,
that'd be great if you died. I hate your guts, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, exactly.
And so George is like, I want to take you to Florida, and they're getting excited. They're like, okay, I think we're gonna do it. Let's go to Florida. So,
and she's like, I'll call Melissa. She knows somebody. And he's like, go call Melissa.
Do it now.
Do it right this second. And then they something to do with about singing a song. He's like, I'm not gonna stop singing this song. It was dumb.
The next scene, another shot of the brownstone exterior, and it sounds like the trip is all set. And George looks. He's kind of looking to back out because he's worried about the sitter. He's like, I know, we kind of rushed into this. I was excited. You were excited. You called someone, but the truth is we don't know this sitter, and this is our baby. Who are we going to leave? We going to leave with a stranger?
And Sally is making all like these sexual references about how she's excited about going to Florida so they can pound on the beach.
Sally,
she is horny.
They're talking about oiling up each other. She is hurting for an oil squirting at this point. She wants to get car ramrodded all vacay long. Okay. She's basically this is a fuckation is what we're doing, right?
Fuckation, I like that. That is really funny.
High five that shit. This is where I want to get all meta milk boned out because knocking on heaven's door. Who comes in? Laurie Stevens, played by the beautiful and extremely young Teri Hatcher.
Yeah, she was really young and she looked good. It had that Saved by the Bell kind of look. The big hair, the high jeans, the rolled up.
Excellent hygiene, right?
Oh, perfect hygiene.
Oh my God! I say, well, I'll give you a goddamn bump here.
You gonna give it a bump?
Holy hell!
A Hatcher bump?
Yeah, that's right. A Teri Hatcher bump, a desperate house bump. George, the father, he is milk boning out here, right? He sees this girl and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
He just keep over and over. He just keeps saying hi. Hi.
She's probably 20 years old. Here.
No way.
Younger?
She's 19 at the latest.
Let's do some math in our minds real quick. Right now, the year is 2017. She's 19. She's 54 right now. So 30 years ago, she would have been 24. So I bet she was 20. I bet she was 23, 24 when that was shot.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the character. The character was not 23, 24. She was 19.
If that helps you.
It helps. It helps me make it barely legal.
Oh boy. Yeah, so she's saying that she's working on her body by exercising, and she's in like a short pencil mini skirt, and it's so sexy. I think that's what they call them, pencil mini, right? Pencil skirt.
I don't know.
And I cannot concentrate here. This girl's got some legs, you know what I mean?
She got legs. She knows how to use them. She's not my babysitter.
Now Sally doesn't want to go.
Oh, yeah, because she's like, I'm not leaving my baby with this hussy.
What does that mean? Like, the baby's going to get fucked? What is she talking about? Laurie, and they say Laurie has everything except underwear, and I say, prove it.
That would have been a good part of this
Holy
scene.
God. Sally's being kind of insecure here, but George reassures her that he loves her and he thinks that she's very beautiful.
Before that, he's like, no, okay, fine. You want to stay here? I'll take her with me.
George's got the right idea.
Yeah, and he's getting all some more sexy talking. So, again. And so Laurie goes and puts her stuff upstairs. George kind of sweet talks Sally again. She's like, okay, we're going to go. And then on
Laurie's way out, she like confesses to George. She's like, when I first met you, I thought you were the baby's grandfather. And you know what? I'm sure that hurts his ego, but I think sometimes men are so blinded by just testosterone and milky white semen that he probably didn't. It didn't faze him. He was
like, "Yeah, I'll be your grandpa."
Yeah, whatever you need, lady.
So next scene is Sally, and she's in the bedroom and she's packing for the trip, and she's very panicking. I've never seen anybody pack as horrible as she is. She's just throwing stuff in.
It's pretty bad.
And they have a discussion, which I thought was a teddy, but it was a bathing suit. And she's like, I haven't worn this in forever, and she's like, it's pretty skimpy, and Laurie's like, that's not skimpy enough.
And I want to say, prove it. Yeah. Show me what skimpy is, Laurie.
All there was like 3 pieces of dental floss.
I think sometimes, you got the Golden Girls and it spun off to like Empty Nest and Nurses like we talked about on the 100th episode. I would love to see after this first episode to have a spinoff where it's just Lori wearing a bikini.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I would tune every week for that.
Yeah. And then Sally makes a reference that she's packing like a drunken raccoon.
Yeah.
How many raccoons? How do you say it? Raccoons?
Rocky Raccoon. Mm-hmm.
Rocky raccoons, good guys. Stupid Beatles.
Lori's then like demonstrating aerobics.
Oh god.
And it's another bump. This is another bump. She's straight air humping at this point.
Oh yeah, her pelvis is up and down.
It's doing all the work, baby.
Up and down. I just kept rewinding it and rewinding.
I was hoping she'd be facing the camera with that skirt on again, but she wasn't. Holy Christ, this is incredible.
Sally's, freaking out, and it's very sexual, obviously.
This pilot is going to get a 7 based on bumps alone. For me, I tell you what,
sex bumps. Peepaw comes in and sees Lori, and just like he starts blah 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 blah. He goes,
this is next generation boning.
Oh yeah, this is Sandusky boning here. And so he goes and takes her hand and talks to her, and they keep taking her hand off, and he's like, you know what, Sally, I tell you what, I should probably stay with Abigail and Lori. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no. He's like, no, I insist. She's like, what are you going to do with this girl? He's like, I'm not going to do nothing with her.
I promise to be good, right?
Right. He's like, nothing works on me anyway.
Oh, good God. George stacks the luggage and prepares for a vehicle to pick them up. And then Sally's mom, Marianne, arrives to the house. And
she comes barging in.
Hustle and bustle. And,
yeah.
Gosh, she's the worst. She's upset that George's dad, Peepaw, is there. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to stay here too now. I'm staying. And
they're rude to each other. And finally, George and Sally are like, fine, we got to go because they're waiting for us. So they start to leave. And then Marianne and Peepaw start doing banter and being insulting to each other.
More weight jokes.
And so then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, George comes back in, grabs the baby, and leaves.
Yep.
The end.
CBS Tuesday movie Kids Don't Tell, a show that I'm sure is about pedophilia, is on right after this. Dr. Paradise is on right before that. The end. Here come a turbulence.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Boy, as we know from all of our dealings with the
CBS Playhouse,
Summer Playhouse, it didn't work.
Yeah.
This is
where things go to die.
It's a graveyard for sitcoms and what have you, and this is no exception.
Right.
This didn't work, but we look at ourselves and we say, why didn't it work?
I got a few for you. First of all, having a live baby on set of any television show is going to cause you difficulties. It's going to cost you money because you're going to have to take multiple takes. In this, there were 2 or 3 scenes where that baby like goo-gooed and gaga'd over people's lines. Mm-hmm. It's going to ruin a lot of takes, which when you ruin a take, that makes you lose money.
Reset. Yeah, it could go 2 ways, right? Like it could be like a cartoon and just go, like not turn into a cartoon. It would still be live action, but every year that baby is getting older and older. And the show's called Baby on Board. It's not called Toddler on Board or, a child on board. You want to see a baby when you tune in. So maybe every season they just get a new baby and it's perpetually just a baby. If not, you got a problem with the kid growing up and all of a sudden the premise on which the show is built around kind of drifts away.
Sure.
I don't know.
I also think that George and Sally, they had good chemistry, but they were too old to have this baby. Like, what I mean?
But that is the basis for the show, though, right? Is that this middle-aged couple is having a child. So the fact that these people are in their 40s and there is a baby involved, that is the show.
Okay.
Don't you think?
I'll mark it off.
But that was their intent. Well, I mean, obviously it didn't work, but that was their intent.
I don't necessarily think they had to be that old. They could have been in their mid-30s and had the same, or in their 30s and had the same situation.
How do you think that would have helped the show?
It would have made it more relatable for a 30-something parent, 30-something adults to have a newborn baby.
Okay.
Like these people were grandparents almost.
They definitely were of the age. If this survived, I think it's very easy to write off Teri Hatcher as like the bimbo of the week. But goddamn, was she hot? I would love to have her on week after week. They go on the vacation. Later they say, you know what? We came back. We dropped the baby off. Lori was a great babysitter, and now she's our kind of almost live-in nanny.
Right, I was going to say, her to move in to be a live-in nanny would be perfect.
So I can masturbate weekly to the sight of her.
Oh, definitely.
Because as we talked about recently on an episode, you didn't have the internet back in '88. You had to masturbate with what you had around you. And if that means tuning in, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time to watch Teri Hatcher and her skimpy outfits to masturbate, that's exactly what I would do to get my rock off.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Anything that you would like to see happen, you think, if it had survived?
Ooh. I mean, George and Sally had good chemistry. Maybe they should have been the grandparents.
Okay. Maybe so.
I
think
was getting close.
What if they went the other way and said they were the grandparents since they had good chemistry, but the show was about
a young couple,
a really young couple,
yeah, like
20-year-olds.
Oh, like that would be perfect.
And maybe Teri Hatcher is the girl.
Let's get to our writing table. We're gonna write a new pilot.
Where did we put our writing table?
Well, right now it's covered with that green Easter grass.
Yeah, we gotta get DSJ to wipe that off so we can start writing. Oh boy. Let's see what other people had to say about this.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
The short answer is nothing.
No.
People had nothing to say about this. There's no IMDb score. I don't see any reviews, critic reviews. No one was talking about this. No one cares, which is funny to me because I feel like with Generation X, you can watch that show. We saw that it was like the X-Men, right? And you can watch that show and you say, I don't recognize anyone in there. I think you recognize the woman as being a part of a soap opera,
right? General Hospital.
But I didn't recognize anyone except Matt Fuhrer, the
Max
villain.
Headroom.
That's right. So sometimes I think if there's a celebrity involved, even if it's just one of minimal note,
like Pauly Shore,
right? Someone's going to be like, oh, I like this person. I'll really dig into what they have. And I think the same could be said about Teri Hatcher. She's had a decent career on television,
definitely,
for sure. But yet, no one's talking about this. No one has any scores. No one cares to rate or comment or write a review on this, which I always think is bizarre, especially when there is someone of note, which there was here. And this is arguably the hottest that she's ever looked in her entire life.
Did you tweet Teri Hatcher?
I believe that I did.
That bitch.
I really
went. Tweet you back?
No. I could double check, but I went through this show for sure and tweeted out 6 days ago or something.
That's fine.
But no tweets back, no viewer reviews, no critic reviews, nothing on IMDb. It's what I would call and have called a ghost of a pilot.
I'm just a ghost in this pilot.
The show was built on the back of his
Nobody's
songs.
ever seen me before. There's not a review to be found.
No one's talking about it except you and I. And you and I are going to have a rating for it
Hell
right now.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Mother Teresa, I think within the past few years, was sainted. Does that sound right?
Okay.
She was given the status of saint, all the generous work that she had done in her life, all the charitable and volunteer work. I think you and I are the patron saints of failed pilots.
Yes, we are patron saints of failed pilots. Give us the cloth. We'll put it on our faces. We'll play peekaboo with Satan.
You know what? Fucking Jimmy Fallon can write a kid's book. Surely you and I can write one about Satan and peekaboo.
Jimmy Fallon likes little boys.
I don't want to get into that. Okay. I will say that no one's talking about this show, but you and I did. We spent an odd amount of time invested in this program.
Sure, we did.
Between watching it and talking about it.
If you count each of us watching it, that's almost an hour, and then we've been talking about it for an hour,
and then all the prep work.
And all the prep. You probably put an hour's worth of prep work.
I'd say an hour or so.
Okay, so we've spent 3 hours on this,
which is more than probably everyone in the world combined.
Right.
We care enough to watch it and talk about it. So, damn it, if we're not going to rate this thing.
This is the crucial point of our show. A lot of people fast forward through everything.
We purposely do not time mark when we rate
the show.
We used to, like clockwork, but no longer.
Yeah.
what is our rating system? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, our rating system is 7 through 1, based off of the. Is it 1 through 7? Is that how you would prefer I say it? Okay, I saw by the look on your face.
It was purposeful. Obviously, I could have kept that inside, but I chose to express my discomfort with the way you phrased that.
Because you want to have dominance over me.
Sexually, I do. I want to play peekaboo with your Satan. Come on, does 7 through 1 sound right to you? Like just hearing it?
No, 1 through 7. And it's based off the characters of Wings. Our whole show is based around Wings, one of the greatest television shows ever.
Second to nothing.
Second to Golden Girls.
I think you told me that Golden Girls was the second greatest show ever.
No.
Okay.
What did I say was the first?
Wings.
No, I would pick Golden Girls over Wings.
Okay. I think we've got some recording that would prove otherwise, but I'm not interested in doing that.
You're like, I recorded it and then I heard it once. I don't need to hear them again. Yeah, and Roy Biggins is a 1. He's the worst. Disgusting, fat slob. Number 7, Brian Hackett.
Number 2 is a Faye Yetton, right?
Yeah. Yes, Faye Yetton, former nurse, Zeller. Antonio Scarpacci is, I think, a 3. Helen Chappell is a 4. Nope, it's the plumber guy, the maintenance guy.
You're way off. Number 4 is a Joe Hackett. Number 5 is Bud Bronski. Number 6 is Helen Chappell. And number 7 is the best. That's Brian Hackett. That's the rating system.
Yeah, everybody knows it.
Everyone knows it by heart.
So, Jason, let's do this. Let's give our rating.
Yeah, Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you. How do you rate Baby on Board?
I don't know. There was a bump. There was a Hatcher bump.
So you did a bump.
I had to do a Hatcher bump. She looked really good. I like the pelvic thrusts.
Oh.
I could take this or leave it. There were some funny lines between the grandparents. Their age really kind of just, I don't know. I'm right down the middle, a 4.
4.
Yeah.
Solid score. Pretty solid. For something that most people would say this is junk.
For a show that nobody took the time to write a review on.
That's not a bad rating. Yeah. I think there was some good chemistry with the actors.
Mm-hmm.
I think the actors did a good job. It was very formulaic. You know,
Sure.
There's nothing super original about this at all. I got to give it a 3. True to my word, I'm giving this 2 bumps.
2 bumps?
I'm bumping it to a 5.
All right.
Just for Teri. Teri Hatcher went the distance on this.
Double bump. A Hatcher double bump.
I can't. I really couldn't concentrate for part of it. She was arguably the sexiest person I think we've seen on Couch Pilots for this. For me personally, she has got what I need. She's got it going on to what
You got what I need.
Not sure what that is, but I appreciate
James
it.
Brown.
Who's that?
How can I do a Scooby-Doo and you know who it is, but I do James Brown and you don't know who it is?
I just didn't know that song.
Oh.
But
You got what I need.
Teri Hatcher is looking fine as hell in this.
Definitely.
And I'm cranking it up from a 3. Click, click. Number 5. And that's the score. And with that, we close the book on Baby on Board. And we will never mention that show again.
Ever.
But we're not done. There are so many pilots out there that need our attention. They pray every night. Every night, all these pilots huddle around a little fire, and they pray to the patron saints of failed pilots, and they say, please won't you shine your light on me? Won't you please shine your light? And we do so by saying, join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of Daddy-O.
Hey, Daddy-O.
Oh, boy, buddy. Here's a little something to whet your whistle. From 1961, Daddy-O is a sitcom pilot that's filled with twists. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do, Tube.
Did you say twist because it was the 60s and the chubby checker?
I don't know. Oh, boy, but what I do know is how you, the listener, can contact us, the content makers. Content maker number 1, how do they contact us?
How do they contact us? On Instagram.
Oh, my.
Couch_pilots_podcast. Why I did it like that, I'll never know. It would have been so much easier to do it the other way. But supposedly, Kev says I can change that. So maybe I could...
Get up on it.
Okay, I'll get that done by Christmas.
That's fair. Facebook. We're on Facebook too, right?
Couch Pilots Podcast. Search that. We are on Twitter. Couch Pilots Pod.
Yep.
We have an email account, couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com.
Sure. And we got a website that really says everything that we just said before right now is moot. Go to the website, and everything you need is right there, like a beautiful Thanksgiving buffet put before you, right?
Couchpilotspodcast.com.
Hell yeah.
Just to let everybody know, we are on Apple Podcasts,
Yep.
Google Play,
Yep.
TuneIn,
Yep, that's a thing.
and I think
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio. Yeah.
Okay.
And Stitcher.
And Stitcher.
We're just waiting on Spotify. Everybody's waiting on Spotify.
Waiting on Spotify. That's
So
cool.
there's no reason why you can't go get our show.
You can call us too. We mentioned it earlier on the show.
Love this part.
When,
favorite part of the show.
My favorite part of the show.
Man, I love this part. I know this number like the back of my hand.
Please tell everyone what the number is.
910 Pilots 1.
And that breaks down to?
I have no fucking idea.
910-745-6871. Adam Z called. He left a message and then a strange song at the end. He left for reasons that are unknown and almost add to the mystery and lore that is Adam Zielinski, right?
Yeah.
FCFnetwork.com. That's not really a thing, really, anymore, right?
No.
But it could be again.
Yeah.
So who knows? I would say check it every hour on the hour.
It's been maintenance. It's undergoing maintenance.
That's a good way to say it. I like that very much. Anything you like to say besides Amazon.com to our frequent flyers before we go today?
Oh, wow. We waited a long time to say something about Amazon.com. Well, I do. Yes, I do have something I want to say. Amazon.com, you got about 2 weeks before Christmas is coming. Folks, check out the link in our show notes to our Amazon. It takes you to Amazon through a little porthole. Same prices, nothing's changed. You can use your login.
God, I'd love to get my hands on Terry Hatcher's porthole, I tell you what.
Portella's porthole. Don't bite the cup. Just the thought of that makes me. But anyway, Amazon.com. Use our link in our show notes. It goes through a little porthole. Whatever you purchase, it doesn't cost you any more than it already was going to cost you. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to get your groceries. You want to get a CD download. You want to buy some pickups for your guitar.
All the normal shit that you would buy on Amazon, just click through our link, and that'll give us just a little bit of a taste, just a sliver, just a little something to say, Couch Pilots, I believe in you. This is a fraction of what I spent on these things that I would normally get. Cost is no difference, but this time you get a little something to keep the lights on. Right?
Exactly. We would really appreciate it.
It super helps out. Take that link in our show notes and save it as a favorite. So every time you shop through Amazon,
bookmark it, bitch.
Yeah, Amazon's got such great deals all the time.
Oh yeah.
Just link it through there, and then it will automatically.
Hopefully you used it on Cyber Monday.
I pray that they did.
I don't really want to say too much else. I do want to say that again, listeners, if you want to hear more of my sexual escapades, call us on the dial-in number. Request it. I really need
hashtag peekaboo.
Hashtag peekaboo. And yeah. But
hashtag peepaw.
You did great as always, buddy.
Oh, you did great. Thank you for saying that. And with that, I will say, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Later, Tater.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.